So the OnePlus 10 Pro has finally made it to Blighty after several months of just kicking about in China, but certainly on paper, several aspects of it sound strikingly familiar, certainly to anyone who's familiar with last year's OnePlus 9 Pro. You got some big upgrades chucked in there, including a boost to the performance and to the battery tech as well, but the camera certainly sounds like it hasn't changed up too much at all. So if you've already got the OnePlus 9 Pro, should you spend cash upgrading to the OnePlus 10 Pro? Or alternatively, if you're looking at the OnePlus 10 Pro, you're tempted by it, should you save a bit of money and get the 9 Pro instead? After all, the OnePlus 10 Pro costs a whopping 799 quid for the base model here in the UK. The OnePlus 9 Pro still costs from 729 at the time I shot this video, but you'd kind of hope with the 10 Pro hitting stores that this thing would be reduced dramatically. Well, let's do a full side-by-side comparison and see what those upgrades in the OnePlus 10 Pro, whether they're actually worth it in real life. And for more of the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So let's start as ever with the design of these smartphones, and from the front, good bloody luck actually telling which one is which. They're both 6.7-inch behemoths, both with very skinny bezels surrounding that display and a tiny little pinhole orifice stuck away in that top left corner. If you think you've guessed which one is which, well, this one here on the left is the OnePlus 10 Pro, this is the older OnePlus 9 Pro. Not a huge amount of difference with the rest of the design either. You've got all the core features on both these phones, including the good old alert slider, of course. So you can quickly and easily switch between the normal ring mode, vibrate, and silent. But it's really around back where things have significantly changed up, mostly due to the enormous whopper of a camera chassis you've got now. It does seem like big camera bumps are all the rage right now, which means that the OnePlus 10 Pro is one of the most fashionable smartphones around. It's a very different finish here for the OnePlus 10 Pro as well. As you can see, my 9 Pro comes with quite a shiny glass back, whereas it's more of a matte finish here on the OnePlus 10 Pro, certainly this model that I have here, the volcanic black version. You can also get it in emerald forest if you prefer a sort of a lighter, more colourful option instead. It's Gorilla Glass 5 around back. As you can see, my OnePlus 9 Pro does have a few little nicks and scuffs here and there, but has been banged about for the last 12 months. You've also got a Gorilla Glass 5 display on the older OnePlus 9 Pro, whereas on the OnePlus 10 Pro that's upgraded to the latest Gorilla Glass Victus, which is a bit more shatter resistant, so hopefully if it does take a tumble should still be in good nick, although it does tend to scratch up a bit more easily. Thankfully you do at least get a pre-installed screen protector on both of these phones to keep them in good nick. And both the 10 Pro and the 9 Pro pleasingly water resistant as well. I've taken both of them into the shower, the bath, etc. No worries. So now software, and the new OnePlus 10 Pro is of course running Android 12 with a good bit of OxygenOS 12.1 slapped on top. Whereas it's still old school here on the older OnePlus 9 Pro, what we've got is Android 11 with OxygenOS 11. However, the Android 12 rollout is in effect now, it is taking place, so hopefully it won't be too bloody long before we finally get it here on the older 9 Pro. So all those lovely new features like the new privacy tools and the upgraded shelf features should be coming to the 9 Pro hopefully imminently. And so because they should soon have the same software experience, I won't bang on about OxygenOS features anymore in this video. If you want to go check out the software here on the 10 Pro, and definitely have a squint at my full unboxing video where I dive into all of that good stuff. Of course, don't forget that here on the OnePlus 10 Pro, you've got the guarantee of 3 more years of Android OS updates, so presumably you'll get 12, then also 13 and 14 beyond that, plus 4 years of security updates, so it will be supported for longer than the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now, one difference you do have here on the freshly OnePlus 10 Pro is the fact that that in-display optical fingerprint sensor has now moved further up the screen, so it is more comfortable. It is once again just a basic optical scanner, though, so it just takes a simple 2D image of your print, but it seems to work pretty well even when your fingers are a bit moist. Not exactly a prime reason to upgrade from the 9 Pro to the 10 Pro, but it is a nice to have. And if your hands are a bit mucky, you're wearing gloves, you've got the usual face recognition support. Now, another feature that's been upgraded for the OnePlus 10 Pro versus the 9 Pro, and again, not a compelling reason to upgrade by any means, but it's something that I definitely approve of, is the built-in haptic motor. Now, apparently 40% more powerful than before. You certainly get more distinctive feedback when you are typing on the virtual keyboard. You can actually change up the haptic intensity as well to suit your own personal preference. And there is a how touches feel section, so you can change up how touches feel. I'm personally more of a crisp kind of guy, although I've got to admit there's not very much difference between the two. And impressively, the motor is still whisper quiet as well. You won't disturb your bed partner if you're busy tapping away on Twitter at 2 a.m. while they're trying to get some kit beside you. And yep, the OnePlus 10 Pro will certainly provide quite the rumble when it's tucked away in your trousers, so you won't be missing any calls or notifications. As far as storage goes, no real difference between the OnePlus 9 Pro and the 10 Pro. I've got the 128GB model, that's the volcanic black version of the 10 Pro, but if you upgrade to the emerald green, you will get 256 gigs of storage. Again, you've got a choice for 128 or 256 on the 9 Pro. And once again, bugger all micro SD memory card support on either. Now, not much has changed up for the 10 Pro as far as media performance goes. You've once again got a 6.7-inch AMOLED display, exactly the same as the 9 Pro. It is Quad HD Plus resolution again as well, so super crisp, but you can actually change up the resolution in the display settings. As before, you can manually set that resolution to Full HD Plus or bump it all the way up to Quad HD Plus, or let the phone auto-select the resolution depending on what you're actually up to save a bit of battery life when required. You can also tweak those tones as well, set to vivid mode by default, which I absolutely adore, especially great for anime and the rest of it, but you can stick it on Pro mode if you want and get it with a good bit of the DP3 gamut if you want a more natural looking output. The sRGB selection from the OnePlus 9 Pro seems to have disappeared now. The OnePlus 10 Pro is also supposed to be capable of more accurate looking colours at lower brightness levels as well, and certainly the colours do appear to be a little bit richer, a little bit warmer on those lower brightness levels, whereas they maybe fade a little bit here on the OnePlus 9 Pro. But you know, you've really got to stick them side by side and pay close attention to really notice the difference, to be perfectly honest. Still, if you like watching your Netflix again at 2 a.m. with a sleeping partner next to you, you want to dim down the brightness, you're not disturbing anyone, then yeah, slightly nice looking visuals here. And both of these mighty frickin' panels also boast LTPO tech, so they support a full refresh range down from 1 Hz all the way up to 120 Hz. Apparently it's LTPO 2.0 here in the OnePlus 10 Pro, which dips down to lower refresh rates more often with an even smoother transition, thus preserving more power. However, that probably does make as big an impact on battery life as the fact you've got a much bigger battery here on the OnePlus 10 Pro, but more on that later. The adaptive brightness is also now apparently a bit smarter here on the OnePlus 10 Pro as well. So for instance, so you got the auto brightness on, but you find in the evenings it's just dimming things down a little bit too much. You can't quite see what's going on, so you keep on manually pushing it up. Well, the smartphone will recognize this and it'll be like, oh, okay, let's not dim it down quite so much in the evening, so things are a bit easier on the eye. So the more you use the OnePlus 10 Pro, the less you find yourself manually adjusting the brightness. Personally, I gotta say, I've had zero issues with that automatic brightness. It's boosted it right up when I've been outdoors, so visibility has been clear. When I've moved indoors into more ambient conditions or in the evenings, it's dimmed it down, but not too much, so all good. Let's move on to audio, and you've got a stereo speaker setup on both the OnePlus 9 Pro and the OnePlus 10 Pro, but let's try them out side by side to see which one is best. So here's the OnePlus 9 Pro first.
The only weekly YouTube tech news show that Sir Roger Moore heartily endorses from beyond the grave. This week we've got a full side-by-side.
And now the 10 Pro.
Samsung Galaxy A33 and A53 5G, definitely two early contenders for the best mid-range phone.
And I gotta say, unfortunately, I think I actually prefer the OnePlus 9 Pro's audio output. It's just that little bit clearer, the clarity is just that little bit nicer, and in terms of the actual volume, not a gulf of difference between the two at all. They're both pretty loud, so should be absolutely fine in a fairly noisy environment. There goes bugger all headphone jack on either the OnePlus 9 Pro or the 10 Pro, so you're stuck using dongles or got a bit of Bluetooth 5.2. Now, Bluetooth streaming's been absolutely fine on the OnePlus 9 Pro, and on the 10 Pro it's been mostly fine. Absolutely no issues streaming to Bluetooth speakers and most of our Bluetooth headphones. It did have a few issues with the Beat Studio Pros, unfortunately. Lots of juddering and stuff going on there. I think the two of them just didn't really like each other much though, because that was the only time I had any issues. Now, both these OnePlus blowers are powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset, the latest 8th Gen 1 here on the 10 Pro and the 1-year-old Snapdragon 888 here on the 9 Pro. If you're a bit confused by the fact that the OnePlus 9 Pro seems to have far superior benchmarking scores to the 10 Pro, well, that could be partly explained by the fact that this is a 12 gig of RAM model here on the right, whereas the OnePlus 10 Pro have only got 8 gigs RAM pushed in this thing, still DDR5. And also benchmarking is just a whole heap of bollocks anyway, so I won't pay any attention to that. The main thing is that the everyday experience, nice and buttery smooth on both of these smartphones, and if you are a gamer, you can play anything out there, including the mighty Genshin Impact, the absolute memory hog that beast is, even when you max it out on the higher detail settings at 60 FPS. The 9 Pro used to judder and stumble a bit back in the day, but subsequent updates seem to have sorted it out, so even on those higher detail settings, it does play absolutely fine. Does start to heat up a bit though if you are playing for a good sort of 40-50 minutes or beyond. Whereas thankfully the OnePlus 10 Pro has an upgraded cooling system, so while it still gets a little bit toasty on the back end there. You can play it for as long as you friggin' like, or at least as long as the battery can withstand it. And no issues with this thing basically spontaneously combusting. You also have a dedicated gaming mode on both of these smartphones. The OnePlus 10 Pros has been upgraded, so it's a bit more user-friendly, has a couple more bonus tools chucked in there. But again, those tools should hopefully be coming to the OnePlus 9 Pro when it receives that OxygenOS 12 upgrade. Now, battery life. The OnePlus 9 Pro sports a 4500 milliamp cell, and I found that after subsequent upgrades, I tend to make it through a full day, even with fairly intensive use, but sometimes I am running on dregs come the end of said day. Whereas thankfully OnePlus has boosted the battery size for the OnePlus 10 Pro, so it's now a 5000 mAh capacity cell. That's one of the biggest upgrades here on the fresh new 2022 model. And that's definitely helped matters, because I do find the end of a busy day, I tend to still have about 20% battery life remaining, so I'm not getting quite as nervous, especially if I'm going out for the evening. And you might think, well, bigger battery, that'll therefore take longer to charge up. But the good news is you've now got 80 watt fast charging on the OnePlus 10 Pro versus the 65 watt fast charging on the OnePlus 9 Pro. So they actually charge up at about the same time, roughly half an hour at the plug. And you once again have support for 50 watt wireless charging as well, which is great to see. Always good to have on a flagship smartphone, of course. So last up, that camera tech. And while the actual look of the camera bump has certainly changed up quite a bit, sadly the actual camera hardware is mostly the same. The primary camera sensor on the OnePlus 10 Pro is once again the 48 megapixel Sony IMX789 with built-in optical image stabilization, just as it was on the 9 Pro. So anyone expecting a massive upgrade in terms of the actual photo quality here in the OnePlus 10 Pro will be a little bit disappointed. It's basically the same picture output. So we're talking identical detail levels, very similar tones in all kinds of different ambient conditions, and I did find some issues when I was shooting a high contrast scene as well. Occasionally, if I'm shooting in a really bright environment, you will get some lens flare and issues like that too. You are shooting 12 megapixel images by default, but once again you can boost that all the way up to the maximum 48 megapixel on both OnePlus 10 Pro, just as you could on the OnePlus 9 Pro. In fact, one of the only upgrades for your everyday shooting here on the OnePlus 10 Pro is you've now got a 10-bit color option, so you can shoot photos in that HEIF format with more natural looking visuals. Of course, you'll only be able to actually view these back on a display on a device that supports 10-bit color, such as the OnePlus 10 Pro. But you do, at least in the Photos app, have the option of converting a 10-bit file into just a standard JPEG if you want to share it with non-compatible devices. The OnePlus 10 Pro also sports the same 8 megapixel telephoto shooter as the OnePlus 9 Pro with that 3.3 times optical zoom, but this does max out at 30 times zoom if you further pinch in. Of course, once you get close to that 30 times zoom level, everything is a bit grainy and crap. But it is definitely good for getting closer to your subject without intruding on their personal space. Quite good if you're trying to shoot pics of cats and kids. But the camera hardware isn't completely identical here on the OnePlus 10 Pro, because you do have a slightly different 50 megapixel ultra-wide angle shooter. Like the Oppo Find X5 Pro, this sports a 150 degree viewing angle, really good ultra-wide angle shots with minimal distortion around the edge, and you do have a fisheye lens option as well, which you can swap to, which shoots some very funky looking pics of, again, pets, kids, etc. It's good if you're into that sort of thing. You've got the usual pretty decent selection of bonus modes, including an upgraded Hasselblad Pro mode. So you can now quickly and easily swap between all the different lenses in the Pro mode, and you've also got the RAW Plus shooting option, which just basically takes 3 different shots, one standard, one low underexposure, and one overexposure, and then you can use the blend of the 3 to get precise results. And as for the video, you can once again shoot 4K resolution footage at either 30, 60, or 120 frames per second, and nice looking results there, whether you're shooting indoors or out. And you once again have an 8K video option as well if you'd rather shoot ridiculously high resolution footage. But of course then you're going to absolutely kill your storage. As for the selfie cam hardware, that has actually changed up for the OnePlus 10 Pro. It used to be a 16 megapixel IMX471 sensor here on the 9 Pro. On the 10 Pro, that's upgraded to a 32 megapixel IMX615. And yes, in harsh outdoor lighting, this sometimes struggles to capture a natural looking image. Sometimes things are a bit washed out, but certainly indoors, you get more natural looking tones, a cleaner finish, everything looks less warm, just that little bit crisper and nicer. And there you have it, my lovelies. That's how the fresh new OnePlus 10 Pro stacks up against the older OnePlus 9 Pro. And as you can see, a fair few upgrades in there, including a bigger battery with faster charging tech. You've also got the improved coolant tech, so a bit better for you gamers out there. But I've got to say, a lot of the other upgrades do feel incremental at best, including the display tech and the fact that the camera tech doesn't really offer much new unless you're really sold on the 10-bit color capture or that fisheye lens. So if you do happen to see a good deal on the OnePlus 9 Pro, then I would certainly be hotly tempted. I did do a full 9-month re-review of it recently, so go check that out for all you need to know. Otherwise, thanks to the Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, very strong devices for a similar sort of price point. So it'd be fantastic to hear from you guys in the comments below. Please do poke, subscribe, and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a fan-bloody-tastic rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you!